Hey everyone, Eric with K here. Today's video is going to be a long-awaited video on gray blending, different ways to do it. This is something that was very big when I owned a salon. Even when I just worked in a salon, this was a very big service. This was like happening a lot. And I had promised this on one of my videos. I'll have my videos linked on gray blending. I also do a lot on hair color allergies, stuff like that. But I just haven't gotten around to doing this video. So I'm going to be showing you guys on my hair. So I'm going to take a minute and I'm going to use some conditioner and I'm going to put it on my hair as if it is gray growth, because I really don't have too much gray growth to show you what I want to show you in this video. So that's what this is going to be. I'll explain it later, but let me just put this on my hair and then I'll be right back. Hey, I'm back. I did my best to try to just mimic some kind of gray look so I can show you exactly how I would do gray blending. So a big thing with gray blending is following somebody's natural pattern of how their hair grows, how their gray hair grows. I think it's important to address the fact that your roots, your hair grows from your roots, not from the ends. So I know people sometimes get confused with that and they're like, I don't understand why I have dark roots when I just got my hair colored. It's because your hair is growing from here. It doesn't grow from here. It breaks from the ends and it splits up, and that's why you have to cut the ends of the hair, but it doesn't grow from the ends. It grows from the top. This is just dead hair that's on your head. If your hair is growing in a pattern like this, so just say this is on this side of my head, I'm trying to show you that this would be a pattern of just a straight block of gray that's coming in, and just say that this is artificially colored hair and we want to break through this and get it to match this. So this is permanent color and this is gray growth. And then on this side, we're going to have gray growth, but it's just more sporadic. It's not as much of a chunk as this is. So this is what we're going to be talking about today. These are the things that I would say that you need. You need a bowl, a brush, foils, and you also need a pintail comb or tail comb. This one's a little bit thicker than I would usually use, but when I worked in salons, some people did prefer to use a thicker one. I like the thinner ones, but I don't actually have it on me right now. The clips in your hair would be important too, but since I'm just doing this as like a mock trial, I just want it mock trial. It's just like a mock thing. This is kind of like how you're taught in beauty school. We use like cholesterol and stuff like that. I don't know what they use now in beauty school, but it's before you start getting into like the real stuff, you use fake stuff to mimic what you're going for. Gray blending was not something I was taught in beauty school. That's just something that I learned along the way. So let's actually just jump into this. So we're going to see this. And like I said, you want to go with the same pattern that somebody's hair is growing in. If this has color buildup on it, if this is permanent color, and so mine is natural right now, so this step, what I'm going to say, would be unnecessary for somebody who has natural ends of the hair, which wouldn't really be the case because usually people color their hair every few weeks and this would just be new growth that's coming in. But if they have color on the ends, I would first go in with a color remover. There's this CPR, I believe, from Malibu. There's the one and only color remover. These are just some pretty good color removers that will literally help you break through this so that your bleach doesn't have to be as aggressive. I never go higher than a volume 10 on bleach or a lightener. Bleach and lightener are the same thing. We just call it a lightener to not freak you out that we're bleaching your hair. But anytime you're going lighter on your hair and you have artificial color, it is a bleach or a lightener. Doesn't matter what anybody says. I would put a protectant in it like an Olaplex or a Zarin. Olaplex is more mainstream. Zarin is more like if you know it, you know it. And you would put that in your bleach or your lightener so that you wouldn't hurt the hair. I think I already said this. I would never go higher than 10 volume, especially if you're doing an entire head like this. I always would start from the back. First of all, the nape of the neck, I would always start from there, because when you go to take these out first, because whatever you put in first, you would take out first. So when you put these in first, when you take them out, you could just have them go to the sink and start rinsing it out. We are working with bleach, so it will be active until it is taken out of the hair. So it's not like a hair color where it like stops at some point. It doesn't stop. So bleach, you have to actually take out of the hair, and the longer it stays on the hair, the more damaging it is. So like I said, as you're doing this, you always want to be checking the foils that you started with and gradually do that. I don't really recommend doing this at home by yourself because I think it's a lot of work. But if you're on a budget and you have no choice, this is the video for you. If you're a stylist and you just have never done this before, this is also a video for you. So I would not go higher than 10 volume. I would start with a color remover first on the hair. You want to wash it. Then you want to dry the hair before you go in with the bleach. I would dry the hair before I went in with the bleach because you don't want to weaken that bleach anymore and then have to have it stay on longer or think that you have to go to a higher developer. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. The hair is growing in like this, and we're just gonna pretend that this is a whole head. I'm just gonna show you this hairline because it's the easiest. So what you would do is take a thin piece like this, and you're going to grab the hair. And I did a piece underneath just so you guys can see. Now this is a full piece. This is, the whole chunk is growing in. There is no pattern here, it's just a chunk. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna lay it on the foil, and you're going to take your bleach or your lightener, and you're just going to meet where that gray starts. You wanna make sure you meet it. You might have to overlap a drop, but not too much, because whatever the bleach touch, it's gonna turn it more of a yellow color. So if they have true white or gray hair, it's going to change the color of it. So you don't want to go up to the top of it. You want to just meet it where it ends. And you're just going to put the lightener or the bleach throughout the entire strand. Bleach is different than color. So color is something that needs air. I'm just going to fold the foil up. So you want to make sure you fold the foil. If you went all the way down to the end of the foil and it has bleach here on the lip, you don't want it to touch this part here that is natural gray hair, because it will, like I said, it will change the color of it. It will give it like a yellow color instead of it being the true color that it is. So this is what I would probably do, and then I would just kind of stop it there, and then I would go to the next one. Remember, this is gray hair, this is not bleach. And then I would go to the next section. And just say this next section is a little different. I use conditioner, so it's not perfect, but let's just use this as an example. And let's just say that here and here, it's a little hard doing this through my viewfinder, but I would take the back of my comb and I would pick out the pieces that have the gray. And I would just paint on those, and I would leave the other ones behind. And again, you're gonna meet it as best you can. You don't wanna overlap too much, and you're gonna drag it throughout the ends. Make sure you get all the way. I'm being a little lazy here, but make sure you get all the way. And then you're just going to fold that up. And that's that. The pieces that you leave behind. Now, so when you're doing this, you might realize like, wait, this is a little orangey because I used a color remover on it and it's not the gray hair. It's not following that gray pattern. Also, when you use the color remover, make sure you don't put it on those roots. You just want to put it on the ends of the hair, the part that actually have the color on it. Don't put it on the roots. You don't want to risk changing the color of it and losing their natural pattern. So anyway, so now you have some pieces in between that didn't just get any color on it. Let's just pull some pieces out and pretend for the sake of the video that these are the pieces that have color remover on it, but they don't have gray up at the root. So now they're looking a little orangey. When you're done doing this, I would go in, and I wouldn't do it when you're done. When you're done with these foils, I would go in and I would put a color on it to match their natural color that's coming in. So yes, their natural gray color is coming in, but also their natural color that didn't turn gray yet is coming in. And I would match the ends of this to that color that's coming in to the best of your ability. And that's what I would do with that. Before you start taking everything down, you will want to rinse in between each foil to get that out. And then you can go in and take out the foils, okay? So I kind of gave you an example of what to do, but I'm going to do it on this side now too. So now this side, we have this pattern. It's right here and it's right here, just for the sake of this video. So we're going to pull these pieces out. You want to make sure these pieces are thin. You want to make sure that you get the bleach completely covered. You don't want to be sporadic on the bleach. You don't want to be cheap on the bleach. You want to make sure you really saturate the hair. Bleach will dry out, and when bleach dries out, it stops to work. It gets hard. It gets like a little weird. You need to make sure that it's always wet and moist, and that's why we put it in foils, or sometimes if you're doing a full head, you would keep it in like a wrap. Like you would keep it in like a shower cap or something like that, because you don't want it to dry out, because that ruins the activation. So this is the last piece I'm going to do, and it's just easy to do it like this. I'm going to slide that up there. Again, we're not going to touch these pieces that are already gray, but we are going to meet it. It's okay if there's a little tiny bit of overlap, but you really don't want to get crazy on that. And then we're going to bring it down, but you want to really saturate this. Like, don't be afraid to like get underneath the pieces. Just saturate it. Can't make that clear enough. And then again, we don't want to ever touch up here that natural gray that's coming in or that natural white that's coming in. We don't want to ever touch that with the bleach because it will change the color of it. Okay, so once you're done doing all of this and the whole head is done, or if you started back here and you're getting to like this area, just make sure you always periodically check on the first foils that you did. And then after you rinse out the first foils and you continue going around the head, make sure you always check the next round of foils. You always want to make sure you're keeping an eye on these foils. When you pull it out of the hair, so let's just say that this foil here is done, you will want to take your hand and rub the bleach through the ends of the hair because you want to make sure that that whole strand, if there's a piece that doesn't have it, you just want to make sure that whole strand has that bleach on it and it's evenly spread. I have to go wash my hands because I have conditioner on it right now, so give me 1 second. Okay, so if the person is not allergic to color, so some bleaches have toning properties in it. You'll notice, I believe it's the Goldwell one is like a blue, or is it L'Oreal? It's like a blue one. There's, I think it's called like Kaleidos or something. Kaleido. I always say Kaleidos. It's not Kaleidos. It's like Calypso or something like that. Something like that. Some of them have toning properties in it. So those will either be, they'll be blue or they'll be purple. And those are the underlying tones that will help tone the hair. If somebody's allergic to color, they can't have those bleaches with the toning properties on it. So my recommendation is the BW20. But if you're allergic to color, you're not going to be able to tone it. So you have to pull these out at the right time. And it'll never fully match the gray because when you do bleach in hair, it goes through the colors that your hair is. And so if your hair is dark to begin with, it'll go through like a brown, a red, an orange, a yellow, a light yellow, a pale yellow. It's never going to get to a white or a gray. It's never going to do that. So you'll always have like that. But once you get to a place where like you've lightened the hair and they have a pale yellow at the end, and this is for people who are allergic to color and they're allergic to color, again, you don't want to use something that has toning properties on it. So this will just be like a white bleach that you're using, like a BW2 or a BW2 plus. I'm sure there's tons of other ones. Those are just the ones that I'm familiar using. You would just have blonde hair on the ends. So some people like to do gray blending where they want it to be blonde at the end. Some people want to do gray blending where they want it to be gray or white or whatever their color is that grows. But if there's somebody who's like, I want blonde highlights that just camouflage my gray, you would probably stick to this side where you just do a regular highlight. And then you can tone it a blonde color if they want it more ashy, if they want it more warm, whatever they want it. Probably an ashier color would camouflage that gray a little bit better, but it's really the preference of the person. If you're doing something where you're trying to match it, you do more this side because, which they're the same thing, but I'm just saying like you do more like, you know, a weave instead of a slice. Whereas this side, you're doing more of a slice because the whole head is gray. But like this piece, oh, it was this one over here. So like this was the one that we did a slice of. This one we did a weave. We're still following the pattern of the gray. Whereas if you're doing this as highlights, you don't follow the pattern of the gray. You just do regular highlights and you tone it. Okay, so now we're at, so if somebody's allergic to color, it'll be more of a camouflage. You won't be able to fully match it perfectly. So now we're at this stage and I want to talk a little bit about formulation. So I already said the bleaches that you would use, like a Goldwell one that has the toning in it if they're not allergic, or the other one that I had mentioned that they sell at Sally's, something with a K. Those have toning properties in it. So that will help you when lifting the hair. It'll control the lift better than something that doesn't have toning properties in it. But my recommendation for toning gray hair, so at the time that I was really specializing in this, I don't know how you guys take me serious if you're watching this, but at the time I was specializing in this, I was using Kevin Murphy Color, which is a professional color line that you can't get anywhere except for professionally, unless you want to shop my Poshmark. And I would use Soft Violet, because Soft Violet was like a purple undertone, obviously Soft Violet, and it would really match gray very pretty. Or if they had a darker gray hair, I would use the tiniest little drop of 1N, which is black, the tiniest drop, and I would put so much clear. So Kevin Murphy has a clear one too. I would put so much clear in that, and it would dilute it and it would make it a really pretty smoky gray color. So it all depends on what the person's hair is. And then if you wanted to do something for blondes, they have like 9.1, or even a soft violet was very pretty if they had a lot of warmth that you wanted to cut out of the hair to make it look more the gray color. But formulation really depends on your color line that you use, and it also depends on what their natural color is that's growing in. Like I said, gray blending, where you're just kind of camouflaging, you would just do a regular highlight and tone it. And if you can't tone it because they're allergic, you would just send them out raw, because that's all that you can do. If you're turning their entire head into the gray pattern that they have because they don't want to maintain this hair color anymore and they just want to be gray, then I would do the same, very similar, but pick up the pieces that actually are gray and leave out the ones that aren't. And I would just, you know, paint on the pieces that aren't gray, the color that matches closest to their natural, and then separate with foil. So, and maintenance for this should be if you're doing camouflaging, that will just be regular maintenance. You could probably get away with like 6 months to 12 months. That's kind of pushing it. It depends on how much your gray hair bothers you. But if you're doing a full thing, you should go in just to kind of get the ends of your hair toned. And a tone for that would be the same thing that you used to tone it in the first place. But like as the hair grows, you would just use the ends of the hair. You never want to touch that new growth that's coming in. I would just do the same thing. And that could be, it depends on what you do to your hair. So if you put a lot of like hot tools to your hair, it's going to mess up that color a little bit. So even if it was a soft gray, it's going to start to turn to like a yellowish color because of the heat that's on it. So I would always give everybody a list of rules of what to do. Try not to wash your hair that often. Try not to use any hot tools on it. That includes blow dryers, but really like curling irons, flat irons, stuff like that. You want to try not to go into pools. And if you do go into pool, you want to put a leave-in conditioner on your hair first. And this is just until this grows out and you can cut off the color hair. It's just to help you transition, really. So that's the video. I love you guys. If you have any questions, let me know down below and I'll be so happy to help. And don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video useful. I don't know how, like, I'm asking you to like and subscribe when I look like this. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you found this video useful, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye, everybody. Stay safe. Bye.